Hi everybody. I needed to come on here and make a vlog for a couple of reasons. Not just needed to, but wanted to. And I'm sitting here and I stared at the camera for like 5 minutes. Didn't say a word. Because you know when you've got so much to say and you don't know what you want to say or how you want to say it, that's kind of what I'm going through at the moment. Most of you, well, anybody that follows me on Twitter or on Facebook or that follows Beth, thank you Beth, knows that I've been at the hospital for the most part since Sunday with my son Alex. He, on Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, he started having chest pains really bad. And it scared me, but he has a history of having acid reflux, which can also mimic a heart attack. And we have an ugly $4,000 deductible on our insurance that we haven't met yet this year. So I didn't want to take him to the emergency room for the flu or for acid reflux if it wasn't anything major. So we waited a couple of hours and the pain intensified. And that's when I said, get your flip-flops on, we're going to the hospital. So we got to the hospital and there were only a couple of people in the waiting room, which was nice. We went and had him check in, and since he's 19 now, he signs all of his own stuff, which was kind of weird. You know, other moms with like 19-year-olds, weird, yeah. They're grown up in the eyes of the world, but they're still your little boy. So anyway, since they heard the words chest pains right away and his breathing was very shallow, they checked him right in. They didn't make him sit in the waiting room or wait or anything. They rushed him right back, and they hooked him up to an EKG within a minute or so. And after doing that, they found that it was not a heart attack, which was huge relief. My brother Danny had 3 heart attacks by the time he was 17, so there's very much a history. My mom died of she had 3 heart attacks within 5 days, and her father also died of heart problems. So heart stuff is really scary to me. But he's had an EKG done before just to make sure he was okay when he was having acid reflux, and he was fine, and he's very much an easy patient, which really helps. So they did the EKG, they found out it was not a heart attack, and they did a sonogram and chest x-rays. And it's nice because they actually have portable sonogram and x-ray machines now that they can bring it right into the ER, right to his gurney, so they didn't have to keep rolling him around all these places. And after several hours of like getting him on pain meds and everything else, it turns out that he has gallstones, which is typically a middle-aged woman's disease. But do you remember last year he lost all that weight? He went from like 270, 275 down to like 211. Well, it's very common in people that lose large amounts of weight like that. Even though he did it the very proper way, he ate healthy, did not take any weight loss medications, exercised a lot, drank a lot of water, cut out all the crap, your body still fights you sometimes, and a lot of times when people have lost a lot of weight, they do end up having gallbladder issues. So we ended up being there from like 7 o'clock until about 2:30 in the morning on Sunday night. I didn't sleep Saturday night, so I was awake all night Saturday night. I was at the hospital with him until 2:30 in the morning Sunday night when they checked him in. I came home and I probably got to bed about 3:30. I got back up yesterday morning, Monday morning, so I got about 2.5, 3 hours sleep, which was good. Took Johnny to school, took my husband to work, and I went back to the hospital. And they decided that they needed to do a procedure with 4 letters. I don't remember which letters. I know it starts with an E, and I think it has a P and an M in there somewhere. Jumble them around, and you've got whatever it was. Anyway, they did that procedure yesterday. They put a scope. They give you anesthesia. They put a scope down your throat to see what's going on, and he had an impacted stone in his bile duct, which the liver leads down to the bile duct, and he was having issues with, there's no nice way to put it, bowel movements are usually brown. When you start having liver issues, they can turn like a pasty gray or yellow color, and that had started happening to him on Saturday, but he thought it was part of the flu or the cold that he had. And his urine, instead of being a yellow, was very much a dark brown, red and brown together. So the bile, and his body wasn't working right. The bile duct was blocking any bile from the gallstone was blocking any bile from coming out of his body. So he was pretty much poisoning himself, and he turned bright yellow. By Monday morning, he was so jaundiced. And his pain was like 9 on a 10 scale, and for a healthy 19-year-old male, this isn't common. But he had gallstones, so they went in with the scope. They put in a stent in his bile duct, and they got out the main stone that was blocking everything, so his body could start filtering out its own waste. And brain fart here. The anesthesia and everything, left him without a voice yesterday for a while. But finally, after they did that procedure, they said, okay, you can have something to drink now. And he drank a little bit of water and some apple juice, and then he got really excited because then they said you can have Jell-O. So anybody that sees me on Facebook and Twitter, they've seen Alex's Jell-O picture. For him, he doesn't eat junk food and stuff for the most part. So for him to have Jell-O, that's like a separate food group to him. There's vegetables, there's carbs, starches, there's proteins, which for him is typically chicken and fish, and then there's a Slurpee Jell-O food group by itself, and that's like his number one kind of food group. So he was so happy to get Jell-O. So he's been able to have some Jell-O and some tea since then. Last night I was so exhausted. I got home and I had a birthday present, and I had gotten one a few days before on a card, and I'll show you those in a few minutes. But I was so tired I couldn't even function enough to express the gratitude and the thankfulness to those people last night that I really wanted to. My husband was sitting on the couch and I was over in the chair, and he started telling me something, and I was looking him dead in the face, and I was really trying to concentrate on what he was saying. I have no idea what the man said to me. And I even said, Joe, I know you just talked to me. I know I was looking at you and I was listening. I don't know what you said. He said, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. You need to go get some sleep. Because, like I said, I'd slept like 3 hours and 48. And it was really catching up to me. Even longer than that. Whatever. 3 days, 2 days. So I went to bed and I twisted and turned, and I ended up getting about 6 solid hours sleep. Once I did fall asleep, I was gone. Alex got some good sleep last night. They've been controlling his pain pretty well after that point. He's got a few nurses that he really likes. Got one that he can't stand, and I agree with him. I don't like her either. But he is supposed to go in later today, probably tonight, and have his gallbladder taken out. They're going to do it laparoscopically. So the healing time shouldn't be awful, but it looks like no baseball for him for at least 4 weeks. He's training to do the San Francisco Marathon in July. He was supposed to go yesterday and Sunday and do 15 miles. Obviously, he didn't feel like it, and that was my big clue that Alex didn't want to do his run on Sunday. So the doctor said, after the 4 weeks, he should be able to finish training, which still keeps him on track for doing that marathon in a few months. And he's in really good spirits. He's enjoying getting text messages from people, and when I get the messages on Facebook and stuff, I just show them on my phone, but my battery keeps dying, so I'm not replying to too many of them. But we really are seeing every single one and truly appreciating the love and the support and the prayers and everything else that we're getting from everybody. And I don't want to get weepy and cry, but people that say that YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff, social networking, it's not a true family and it's not all this other stuff and true friends, they don't know you guys, and I appreciate everything. So on to the gifts, because that was fun, because tomorrow is my birthday. And yeah, it'll be fun sitting in the hospital room. Hopefully he'll get released tomorrow, but who knows, it's probably going to be a couple more days. First, last week from Gigi, which is ABQGG, I got a very fun card. You can see it, the woman's remote control, and I've only got like a minute left, so I'm going to hurry. This is cool, from Gigi, and a book, Life's Simple Guide to Happiness. I brought this with me to the hospital, but I made sure and brought it back with me so I could read it. Show it to you guys in between reading it. I got a sweet card from Melissa, which is Imperceptible Me. And that was so sweet. And then last night I got home and I got an envelope